the OG Gorilla. This color, it's not available anymore. APS failure or something. The decent off-roading you can do. Sounds in the cold start. Effect of E20. Yes, there are vibrations. The clutch wire broke. The number of issues which I have got is fairly less. Don't apply the punches from outside. So there is a bit of tappet noise as well. But so hello everyone. After a very long time, I am here with you with my Gorilla. And I have recently clocked around 15,000 kilometers, basically more than that. So I thought to give you a video on what I loved about this bike and what I hated the most. So it would help the potential buyers, like if they want to own this one, so they would get a very brief idea on the long-term ownership of this Gorilla. Starting off, I'll show you the exact numbers which I have clocked. So this is how it greets you, and yeah, as you can see, if it is visible, it is like 15,991, basically 16,000 approx. So I recently came back to Hyderabad, and as soon as I came back, I thought to make a video on it. In the long rides I have done are like Kerala and Hampi trip. Kerala ride was almost 2,500 kilometers, and Hampi ride was around 800 kilometers. So what all issues I have faced, I will tell you in this video. So this is the OG Gorilla. This color, it's not available anymore in this market. So as you know that the latest variants have come up, the Apex variants, which has a different profile of tire. Basically these are the block pattern tires, and those are track tires. So plus the handlebar, I think this height has also been reduced, so that gives you a more sporty nature. This looks like a mix of sport and an adventure bike. So this is not modded. I didn't use any kind of mods. Yeah, only the leg guard I have assembled into it. The rest is like the pure factory bike. So I bought this Gorilla near around November 2024. So it's almost gonna be 2 years in some months. So this review also made sense. I was waiting for either 15,000 kilometer mark or 2 years, but I think I have ridden it pretty well, aggressively, as well as in the city, on the highways. So if you ask me about what all things I love about this bike the most, so the attention goes into this 450cc Sherpa engine, which produces 40 bhp of power and 40 newton meter of torque. And it is a liquid cool engine, as you can see. So you don't get any heating issues even when you are riding it hard. So that is one of the thing. The other thing is the this wide tires, which give a good grip on the road, as well as you can do off-roading as well. Not a professional level off-roading, but the decent off-roading you can do. So this is the 120 section tire, and the rear one is 160 section. So the handling as well as the flickability of bike is amazing. So when I went to Kerala also, this bike performed really well. This is one of the major advantages. Like, you can lean very well on this bike and you won't even skid. Also, the exhaust note has become louder. So after my Kerala ride, I have noticed this thing. So obviously it sounds really better and grabs the attention while you are on the road. The sound as well as the looks of this bike. So this color, although they have stopped manufacturing it, but the color looks really good. And I don't know what Royal Enfield is thinking about this, but a lot of people really love this one. So for me it is a bit advantageous because this is a limited edition now. So this color is basically a very great point of attraction while you are on the roads. The exhaust note, if you want to listen, I can just turn on this bike. So this is currently in the performance mode. The performance mode exhaust note is a bit different, and the eco mode is a slightly different, although a normal person cannot differentiate between these two. So let's just start it, and you can hear it. So this is how it sounds in the cold start, and if I rev it, still the same. The day I bought this bike, the exhaust note sounded like this only, although it has become more louder and bassier. So these are some of the things which I really admire of this bike. So talking about what all I didn't like about this bike, the first thing, if I would tell you, is the wind blast. So while I was going on the long ride, I was getting hit with a lot of wind blast, and that's like totally obvious because it does not have any cowl or a windshield, although you can attach that, and the windshield would really help for the aerodynamics, and you will get rid of the wind blast issue. The other thing is vibrations. Yes, there are vibrations. If you are going on a long ride, there would be some of the points where you will find that this bike is vibrating a lot on the handlebars as well as in the foot pegs. But it happens, like, sometimes it does not vibrate and sometimes it does get mild vibrations, but I would say that it's not very uncomfortable while you're on the long ride. The other thing is the seat. This seat is actually good if you're riding in the city, but for long rides, if you're riding on this, your bum would get a little bit of pain. Okay, and I mean, it's not very good for the spine as well. So when I went for the Kerala ride, I put an air seat from the Grand Pit Stop and it really worked well. So my spine was saved, and I was also not getting any kind of jerks. So although the suspension is good, I won't say it is best. So it's better than Hunter, and not great as Himalayan or any adventure bike. So that is one thing which you need to know. If you are looking for a long ride, a bike for long ride, then you should not consider this one. Okay. But yeah, if you're riding in the city, the suspensions are good. So the other thing I would like to call out is its turning radius. It is quite large. So if you are in a slopey area, so this is also a bit of steep area, and if you have luggage mounted at the rear seat and you try to turn it, it will be a bit difficult job. Okay, although like it depends, like, what kind of slope is that. But I think if you have watched my Kerala series, there I have shown you one of the situation where I had to ride in the upwards direction, and the slope was also in that direction. So the luggage was also heavy, so it was a bit difficult thing to turn the bike towards the steep area. The another thing is regarding this fuel tank capacity. It is like 11 liters. It's not, I would definitely say it's not sufficient if you are going for a long ride, but you need to make some decisions, like, if the fuel tank is getting half, just refuel it. So that is something while you are on a long ride you have to decide, right? So please make sure that you refill it properly. What else? The rest of the things are really good. One more thing, regarding service experience. So whenever I went for the service of this bike, I cannot say that those guys are very professional in handling this bike, although like it depends upon service center to service center. But I would say the service center people, they are not expert of this bike. So when I went for the first service, those guys were saying that sir, we don't have much knowledge about this bike, you should go to the another service center. When I went to the other service center, they were also not sure, like, what kind of engine oil it will be having. Then I told that this is a 450cc engine. Then they got the engine oil of Himalayan. So even though I recently did the fourth service, okay, I was like not very satisfied and convinced that they have done proper testing about this bike, they have done proper checking about this bike. That is the major disadvantage if you are living in a metro city. Like although you have a lot of service centers, but the inflow of vehicle is so much that you have to leave your bike and then you won't be able to see while this bike is getting serviced. So the sense of satisfaction is a bit less, and I think it is not a problem just about Royal Enfield, but any brand. Like I think Honda also might be having the same issue, but I have owned this bike, so I can tell you better about this one. I don't know about Honda much, but yeah. So I don't think any other issues I have faced with this bike. So if you're ready to live with it, then you can definitely go with this bike. Okay, now let's talk about what broke. Okay, like while I was on the way to complete my 15,000 kilometers ownership, what all things happened with this bike, and what was the cost, and what do you need to take care of, like whenever you own this bike or any other bike. Okay, so first thing, like I think it was around 8,000 or 9,000 kilometers, this clutch wire got broken. Okay, so currently this is a new clutch wire. Okay, this one is a new clutch wire. So first I went to Hampi, then after a month or so I went to Kerala. Okay, so this wire, just after I came back from Hampi, the clutch wire broke. And how would you know that this wire is gonna get broken? So when you will be pressing this clutch, right, if you are getting a squeaky voice, then that is a big sign that you should replace it. One of my video, I think around 8,000 kilometers ownership or something I had made, you can check out in my channel. That in that video I was showing that this clutch is making noise, and some of the folks also commented that please replace it because it's gonna get broken in some time. I ignored at that time, but sooner or later after my Hampi ride, this got broken. And actually I was very thankful to God that it didn't get broken while I was on Hampi ride. It would have been a difficult situation. Telling from my experience, please change the wire whenever it starts squeaking. The other thing, just before my Kerala ride, like a day before my Kerala ride, I went for the 4th service or something, I don't recall properly. At that point of time, a nail got stuck in my tire. If I will show you somewhere on my rear tire. So you can see here, the service center guy, he told me that you can get it fixed in a nearby store or nearby shop where they repair tires. So at that time I was very anxious that I have to go to Kerala, and this has happened. Some people from the there is one WhatsApp group of Guerrilla, some guy told me that don't apply the puncture from outside, go to some shop and get the mushroom puncture for it. So mushroom puncture is like they will open your tire and they will plug mushroom puncture from inside. Okay, and that will save the tire. So I went to the shop. He said that mushroom puncture would be a very hectic thing, and they don't even have that. So he will apply a patch. There is a I don't remember the name, what it is actually called. So he opened the tire, I mean from here, and he applied that patch. So I was very anxious. I was telling that no, I want to get the mushroom puncture only. But he told that, sir, there won't be any problem. So I was like, ठीक है, देख लेते हैं. So he applied that, and from the outside he applied this tire dust. He pasted it with Fevicol or Fevikwik. So since then there was no issue. I was thinking that the air might leak, but that was never the case. I did my Kerala ride very nicely. Even now also, like the tire pressure always remains good. So that is one thing, but always make sure to get a mushroom puncture if the puncture is large. Otherwise this what do you call it, this patch also works good if the nail is basically or the puncture is basically very small. So the cost for this clutch cable was, I think, around 400 or something. I frankly don't recall. If I get to know, I'll just paste here in this video, like regarding a clutch wire. Plus the assembly also is a bit difficult. Like the service center where I went, I mean, it was not authorized Royal Enfield service center, but some local mechanic, they opened this tank and then they added this clutch cable. So it is a bit hectic task. So what happens is, if you are on a long ride and the clutch cable broke, then it is a bit difficult task for you to open the tank and then join this clutch cable, because it goes from inside if you see the wiring. So that is one thing. Like if you see from here, the clutch cable is going from inside. The other thing is the chain. So when I came back from Kerala ride, this chain, it got very loose. I didn't even get a chance to look at it. Like, I was riding even after Kerala, and somebody told me that the chain is kind of very loose. I then checked and got it tightened. So if you don't tighten your chain time to time, or if it is very loose, then there will be mileage drop. So that is one thing. So you need to make sure the chain is tightened and properly lubed. So if the chain is also dry, then it becomes very prone to getting loose. The other thing is regarding rusting. Although it has been kept in the parking for around 2 months, like I went to my hometown, so there was rusting at some of the points, even on the chain. That was surface rust. So when I rode this bike, the rust went away. So yeah, also the weather is very humid. There are rains these days, so that is very obvious. But doing proper care, you will not face any issues. Okay, now let's get on a ride and we'll discuss something more about this bike. So yeah, let's put it on eco mode, because I always ride in eco in the cities. So there is a bit of tappet noise as well, but it has been coming from a long time and I really ignore it, because I don't want to unnecessarily put my head into this, and I haven't got any power loss or something, so this is totally fine. So one more thing I want to tell you about is like when I came back from Kerala ride, there were definitely some of the things which I told you, right? The chain was loose, there were some other issues as well. So I was heading towards office one fine day, and what happened was, while I accelerated, I changed the gear towards third and I accelerated. So it was saying APS failure or something. Okay. Then what happened was, I was trying to accelerate, but the RPM was not increasing. The speed was like only around 40 or 50, not even 50, it was around 40 only, and I was not able to accelerate. So that was like a very major concern for me. I was thinking, what happened to this bike? It was running all fine while I was in Kerala. So then I parked my bike in the office parking. So after my office was over, I headed towards my bike and I started. And while I was riding, I didn't face this issue again. So I was thinking, why did it happen? Some people were saying it is something related to the ECU. I didn't face the issue again ever. If I face it, I will definitely make a video on it, and I will head towards the Royal Enfield Service Center. And I really consider that the number of issues which I have got is fairly less, considering it as a Royal Enfield bike, which is a sports bike, you could say, not a purely sports but retro sports bike. Now if you ask me, like, if I got a chance, will I go for this bike again? So my honest answer would be yes. I would definitely buy this bike again, considering I get this same color, because the color of the bike really matters to me. I mean, that is a very naive thing to say, but that's what, like, I mean, this bike is a good attention grabber while you will be on the roads. So yeah, it really looks like a different bike regarding brake pad change. So if I give you a rough idea, it was around 3000 plus 3000. So basically you can count it as 6000 only, more than 6000. See this thing. This is the false neutral thing which you just saw, and I have been facing this since inception when I bought this bike. So 5th to 6th it happens a lot, and during like around 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. But yeah, it does not do any harm. a lot of bike gets this. Also, if you ask me about the fuel efficiency, I'll just show you. It is 30.1 kmpl, okay, in both of the trips. So yeah, I mean, what else do you need from a 450cc engine? Regarding the effect of E20, honestly, I would say that I didn't face any issues regarding the mileage, at least. Yes, if I add the fuel as XP95, then definitely the mileage even goes till 32 or 34. I think in one of my previous videos I have shown that as well. But that is regarding the mileage. E20, definitely it might be doing some or the other thing, messing up with the internal things, doing wear and tear, but for now I haven't faced much of the issues. Okay. So yeah guys, that's all. I think I explained to you whatever the points were there in my mind. Just go for this bike if you want to ride in the city, as well as if you want to go for a long ride. You definitely need to do some modifications. Maybe add an air seat for your spine, and that's all. You don't need to do much of modifications. Don't do the exhaust change and all. It really sounds cheap. So I mean, the stock is good, and again it boils down to the preferences. Individuals have their preferences. My preference is to keep the bike as stock as possible. Okay, so yeah, I really love this bike, and as I told, if I got a chance, I would definitely consider it buying again, or if someone asks me, I would definitely recommend this one for sure.